What's your biggest win of the season so far? What are your thoughts on that, please?
I thought a real good team performance. I don't think we've been far off in most of the games that we've played, to be fair. We're a kind of a new team who are finding the feet with some of the new players we've brought in, with like Clooney and them getting the timing right on the edges, which I thought was pretty good today, between like obviously Swifty and Sam Alsall on both edges. It's kind of been slowly burning. I think people knocked us a little bit on the back of the KR performance, but if you look at that game properly, there was minute details in between there, to be fair. Whereas just after half time we could have come back into that game and been 8-6 through a little bit of a decision where Esam got pulled back. So I don't think we've been too far off in all our games, to be fair. And I think today was probably, we worked really hard for each other and played to our strengths as individuals and as a team more so. And I think that kind of reflected in the outcome of the performance, especially defensively.
I mean, no one will question Huddersfield's great spirit. It's been there ever since you took over as coach, but to actually open up with the ball, that must really please you, especially with Will here, Connor getting some big touches there.
Yeah, we spent a fair bit of time in the pre-season with them guys in the spine playing that way, but obviously the suspension to Tui hurt us in terms of kind of that make-up going forward, but then we obviously had a good result against Lee. So then, and Oliver Russell was performing at that time, and then obviously we've tweaked it this week on the back of last week. But they seem to have hit the straps pretty quickly as a little bit of a unit there. So yeah, no, real pleasing the way they were moving the ball. I think we've been moving the ball pretty well at the right times, mostly in most games that we've played so far this year.
Defensively, to restrict Hull to one try, I mean, Hull had a lot of ball, especially in the first half. I'm guessing that pleases you.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest one we've just spoke about there, about our attitude to scramble for each other. The one thing with Hull is we know they like to play hot, they like to offload, they like to move your lateral quite a lot as well. Kind of Tony's teams do that, and you can see they're kind of in their infancy of what Tony's trying to do. Obviously, with knowing Tony and knowing how good a kind of coach he is, obviously the way he tries to build his teams, he tries to develop them by the way they play with the football, and obviously some bits stick, and it's very hard to handle when it's sticking there. But when they make little bits of error, they can probably put yourself back on your own goal line. Which today I thought they were pretty good for large parts in the first half, but we managed to scramble and hold our line and work together as one team, which to be able to compete against a whole team who were playing hot like that, we needed to be able to do.
What's the players that came into your side today? Obviously, I'm guessing with 3 big middles out, that would have impressed you as well.
Yeah, I just thought Matty English, Ollie Wilson, the way they started the game for us, I thought they took the challenge of Liagi Sow and SASA kind of to him, if you like, because we knew we needed to win that area of the game. And then I think the guys who came off the bench, Harry Rushton, Ash Goulding, Seb, Big Joe, I thought they stepped up as well for us. So it's real pleasing that the middles, because obviously we lost a couple of middles in the week. Obviously Chris Hill, who's going to have surgery, and obviously Sam Hewitt as well, we lost. So fingers crossed they can keep performing and take their opportunities that they've got in front of them now.
Speaking of opportunities, Adam Swift definitely took his today. 4 tries, just happens to be against his former club FC, but that was a pretty good performance.
Yeah, I'll tell you now, 2 of them that he scored in the first half we don't score last year, or we don't score this year without at Swifty. He's just a different level in terms of getting that space, and there was minute space. He nearly got Jaden down the touchline, who Jaden was a kind of top winger in the NRL originally when he first started. So he looked like he'd nearly got him there. So there's certain things that Swifty can do where he's put in positions and he can score out of nothing. Whereas, like I say, last year we don't score them 2 tries, and we probably don't get in front then on the scoreboard early doors, which I think helped us settle us down today.
With Swifty, it's not just a try scoring, is it? It's everything backfield. His energy is ridiculous. Yeah,
mate, he's awesome. To be fair, he's a little bit like Ash, probably not as energetic as Ash, but he's still pretty similar to Ash. And he's a cheeky fella anyway as well. So he's a good character to have in and around the group, and it boosts confidence from the other guys around him, because you know he's going to clean stuff up if there is a bit of an error.
Cheers,
An injury to Jake later on?
Yeah, he tweaked his hamstring, so just more precaution more than anything else. Obviously, we had Oliver Wilson come off with a little bit of a bang to his arm as well, so we didn't put Ollie back on in there. Hopefully that's nothing major, because like I say, we've lost a couple of players at the moment. So Jake, I think Jake was alright, the way he was running around and throwing a few assists out of them. Yeah, and if he can kick like that, I don't think there's too much wrong with his arm anyway. Yeah, so hopefully he'll be okay.
Do you feel for Tony Smith at all?
Well, I think it's funny when you look at it, because when you're a supporter, nobody cares. They just look at the scoreboard and they don't see what you're trying to build or what you're trying to work towards. Tony's was going to say probably is one of the best coaches, if not the best coach. And I know because he's mentored me when I was younger, so I've seen him firsthand of what he does and what his philosophies are. They take time to come through in a team. The way he plays a really attractive kind of style and likes to play with offloads and likes to move you around and test you, but that takes time to get the players to be able to be upskilled to play that level. But I think his background shows for himself. He's done it at every club he's done. If people let him do what he does, he'll do it with Hull as well. You can already see in there its bits. We knew today we had to be really on defensively because of the way they move the ball and the way they play with offloads. So we needed to be able to ready to react. That's probably enough reflection of kind of Tony's style, and it is coming and it is there. And if they all stick, they're going to cause teams problems. They've got really good, exciting attacking players. But at the moment, obviously, he's not got probably a number of his first choice players that he would probably like to play in that kind of style. But like I say, he's done it everywhere. He's done it. One of the big things that I look at, we teach our wingers certain things. The only reason kind of I know them is because of what Tony taught me or what Tony taught Ryan Hall. And you see Ryan Hall clean stuff up. That's because Tony taught him stuff like that. So Tony's a great coach. Because the team are probably struggling at the moment, everyone just looks at the score and just goes, oh well, he can't be a good coach then because they're losing. Well, it's not the case. For me, Tony's probably one of the best coaches, if not the best coach, to be fair. And I think like his history's proven. I don't think there's anywhere really where he's been and he's failed, if you like. If that all makes sense to you, yeah.
Cheers, Ian.